All right, today we're embarking on a pretty critical mission, diving right into the heart of software development. Our goal? To really get a handle on test execution. You can think of it as the ultimate trial by fire, where an app either proves it's ready for prime time or, well, shows its fatal flaws.
Oh, you've been there, right? We've all been there. That moment of absolute frustration. You spent all this time filling your cart, you've put in your credit card details, you're ready to hit buy, and then, boom, it crashes. That single infuriating moment is exactly what this whole process is designed to prevent. The stakes, they're incredibly high, not just for us as users, but for the businesses behind the apps.
And that's exactly why we call this phase the quality gauntlet. It's not just a simple check. It's a rigorous, structured challenge where we push the software to its absolute limits. This isn't just about squashing a few bugs. No, it's about forging real, lasting quality and making sure a product is truly ready for the real world.
So what are we really talking about here? At its core, test execution is the action phase. It's where all that planning and all that prep work finally pays off. We take all these carefully designed test cases we've written and we actually run them against the application to see if it does what it's supposed to do. You know, it sounds simple in theory, but as you're about to see, it's a really detailed operation.
Okay, so every good mission needs clear objectives, right? Here are ours. First, we need to validate that the software actually delivers on its promises. Second, we hunt down defects as early as possible. Why? Because a bug you find a month before launch is like 100 times cheaper and easier to fix than one a customer finds. Third, we ensure that overall quality bar is met. And finally, we verify those crucial non-negotiables like stability and performance, making sure the app doesn't just work, but that it works well, especially under pressure.
Look, any successful mission is all about the prep work. You can't just jump into the gauntlet without the right gear and a rock-solid plan. So before a single test is even run, we have to make absolutely sure the battlefield is ready.
Think of this as our final pre-flight systems check. Is the test plan officially signed off on? Check. Is our testing environment stable and configured the right way? Check. Do we have all the data we need to run these tests? Got it. And maybe most important, has the development team actually delivered the software build we're supposed to be testing? Yep. Once every single one of these boxes is checked, and only then are we greenlit for execution.
All right, we are geared up, we're checked out, and we are ready to go. Now we step into the trenches. This is the real core of the operation, where testers methodically work through the plan, step by painful step, to uncover the truth about the software's quality. The whole execution process follows this really clear, repeatable 6-step cycle. We kick things off by verifying the build is even stable enough to test. Then, we execute our test cases and meticulously log any bugs we find. From there, it's this cycle of retesting the fixes, running regression checks to make sure we didn't break anything new, and finally, reporting our findings and closing out. Let's zoom in on a few of these key moments.
Now, this step right here, it's all about sheer discipline. For every single test case, and we're talking there could be hundreds, even thousands of them, a tester follows the steps and carefully, meticulously records the outcome. Did it pass? Great. Did it fail? Not great, but we need to know. Or is it blocked, meaning something is actually preventing us from even running the test? This detailed record becomes our single source of truth. So, what happens when a test fails? We log a defect. And this right here perfectly illustrates the process. We expected to see a nice, friendly, payment successful message, but what we actually saw was a scary error code 500. This clear, side-by-side comparison of expected versus actual, that's the heart and soul of every single bug report. It gives the developers exactly what they need to hunt down the problem and fix it.
This is such a critical loop in the process. Once a bug is supposedly fixed, we don't just take the developer's word for it. No way. We retest that exact scenario to confirm the fix actually works. But, and this is the really crucial part, we also run regression tests. This basically means we check that the fix didn't accidentally break something else, something that was working perfectly fine before. It happens all the time.
Now, to successfully get through this gauntlet, we need more than just one approach. We need a full arsenal of different testing types where each one is designed for a very specific job. Let's take a look at the tools that make up our strategy.
Okay, so broadly speaking, our entire arsenal is split into two main categories. You've got functional testing, which asks a really simple question. Does the feature work? Can I log in? Can I add this thing to my cart? Then you have non-functional testing, which asks a different question. Does it work well? Is it fast enough? Is it secure? Is it easy to figure out? You absolutely need both to claim you have a quality product.
So within that functional arsenal, we have these tests that kind of build on each other. It's like building a house, right? Unit tests are like checking each individual brick. Integration tests check if the walls stand up when you put them together. System testing is checking the entire house as one complete structure. And finally, you have user acceptance testing, or UAT. That's when the future homeowner walks through and says, yep, this is what I asked for.
And on the non-functional side, we have tools that are just as critical. Performance testing asks, hey, can this app handle the absolute chaos of a Black Friday sales rush? Security testing is looking for vulnerabilities. Are the doors locked? Usability testing checks if the app is actually intuitive or if it's a confusing mess. And compatibility testing makes sure it works just as well on a brand new iPhone as it does on a 5-year-old Android tablet.
And then we have our specialized ops, our quick strike tactics. A smoke test is that first quick check. It's basically asking, does the engine even start before we take it for a long drive? A sanity test is a really narrow, focused check after a small change. And, as we already talked about, regression is that big, broad check to make sure we haven't broken any of the old, reliable features. Each one has a very specific and very vital role to play. All right, so once the dust settles and all the tests have finally been run, it is time for the mission debrief. This is where we sift through all the data we've collected to get a clear picture of the software's overall health. A simple chart like this gives us an immediate visual summary. You can see right away, out of 1,000 total tests, the vast majority passed. That's great. But we've also got 100 clear failures that need to be fixed and another 50 that are blocked, which means we need to figure out what's stopping us from testing them. This is the snapshot of our mission's outcome.
Then we can boil this all down into key metrics that everyone can understand. A 95% pass rate for the tests we could run? That's a pretty strong signal. It doesn't mean we're finished, not at all, but it tells the whole team that the core of the application is stable and we are definitely moving in the right direction.
But this is the ultimate prize. 0. Defect, leakage. This number isn't about the bugs we found. It's about the ones that we didn't let through. It measures how many problems slipped past our entire gauntlet and were found by actual users out in the wild. The goal is always 0, and it's the truest measure of a successful quality mission.
The mission officially wraps up when we deliver our key intelligence. These formal reports, the test execution report, the defect summary, they document everything we learned in the trenches. They're the official record of what was tested, what was found, and they provide the final verdict. Is this software truly ready for release?
And this quote from our source material really just says it all, doesn't it? After all the design meetings, all the brilliant ideas on a whiteboard, all the late-night coding sessions, this is the moment of truth. Test execution is where the rubber meets the road. It's where we find out if that brilliant idea actually works in the hands of a real person. Which, it brings us to this final thought-provoking question. We strive for 0 defect leakage, we want 100% pass rates. But in a world of constant updates, new devices, and ever-growing complexity, does the gauntlet ever really end? Or is quality a continuous battle that we always have to be prepared to fight?